Oh, hey guys. Welcome to our chess match. How are you? How are you doing today? This is my friend Justin. I'm Pastor Eric. Hey, we just are sitting here playing a game of chess, and I wanted to see if you've ever played chess before. Have you ever played chess before? You haven't? Well, the cool thing about chess is all of the pieces move in a different way. Like, see this piece here? This is a pawn. A pawn can only move 1 or 2 spaces forward, unless it's trying to capture another piece, and then it can move sideways.
And the piece that he just got rid of, it's the little horsey looking one, is the knight. The knight can jump pieces because it can go in an L shape. Anywhere that it goes, it moves in an L.
And what about the rook? The rook looks like a castle. And the castle is cool because it can move as many spaces as it wants, forwards or backwards or side to side. But it can't jump anybody like the horse.
Like the horse. This one right here is the bishop. And the bishop can go diagonally. So that means on the board, it always stays with the same color. It goes crisscross is a good way to think about it.
Crisscross. And what about this one? This one is the queen. And the queen is probably my favorite piece because it can move in any direction it wants. It can even knock things over. But it can move any direction it wants, as many spaces as it wants. No limits. No limits to this queen. That's awesome!
So if the queen can move anywhere, it's the most powerful piece, but the one that's the most important is the king. The king can only move 1 space in each direction. But the problem is if the other team gets rid of the king, the other team wins. So you have to protect the king at all cost.
At all cost?
At all costs, because if I take yours, then I win.
No, you can't win. You can't win. Each one does something different. None of them are the same. Kind of reminds me of a story in, 1 Corinthians 12. Yeah, where God tells us that we're all different and that that's okay. How about we read that together?
Read it in my glittery Bible?
In the Bible.
I got glittered one. Okay. All right. So are we doing 1 Corinthians 12:12, right?
1 Corinthians 12:12.
So it says, the human body has many parts, but the many parts make up only one body. So it is with the body of Christ. Some of us are Jews, some are Gentiles, some are slaves, and some are free. But we have all been baptized into Christ's body by one Spirit, and we have all received the same Spirit. Yeah, the body has many different parts, not just one part. If the foot says, I am not a part of the body because I'm not the hand, that doesn't make it any less a part of the body. And if the ear says, I am not a part of the body because I'm only an ear and not an eye, does that make it any less a part of the body? Suppose the whole body were an eye. Then how would you hear?
That would be crazy.
That would be weird. Or if your whole body was just one ear, how could you smell anything? Would you?
You would look funny as one whole ear.
Might be a huge ear. But God made our bodies with many parts, and He has put each part just where He wants it. What a strange thing a body would be if it only had one part. Yes, there are many parts, but only one body.
The eye cannot say to the hand, I don't need you. On the contrary, those parts of the body that seem to be weaker or indispensable, and the parts that we think are less honorable, we treat with special honor. And the parts that are unpresentable, like my toes, they're in my shoes, you can't see them, it's not summer, we treat with special modesty. But God has combined the members of the body and has given greater honor to the parts that lacked it. So there should be no division between parts. If one suffers, every part suffers. If one part is honored, every part rejoices. Now, you are the body of Christ, and each one of you has a part.
Now, isn't that crazy?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how we were all made? Like, we've all got hands. Yours are bigger than mine a little bit.
Yeah.
and we've all got feet.
Mine are bigger than yours. A little bit.
Just a little. But here's what's crazy. Could you imagine if our hand was where our knee was? That would...
I couldn't get anything.
That would be... What? How would you grab anything? How would
I don't know. It'd be like that little dinosaur that goes, I got short arms.
Hey, okay, let's think about you. What if your eyes were on your knee? How would wouldn't the world look different? How would...
I can't even bend that far.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
It would be.
Crazy.
But God made it all perfect and just like He intended. And they all work together. And that's like you and me. Just like my hands are bigger than yours, we're different. And that's okay. You're different. And that's okay. But you know what? I couldn't do it without you.
And me, I couldn't do it without you.
You're right. And we can't do it without them because they have a part too. Even though some of them may be young, God has a plan for them and their lives. Mm-hmm. And they may not know what it is yet, but they're going to play a part of this big thing that we call the church. Because God says that we all have a part. Just like the chessboard and how the pieces move different and they do different things. And how man, they can just do whatever they're supposed to. We have to play a part in the church. And I know most of you have been out of school this whole week, and you don't know what's going to happen. And I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know that we can play our part in the church, in the body of Christ. You know, some of your parents may be part of our Be the Church movement that we're doing right now, where we're going out and we're trying to be the church to the people. And you know, some people are making phone calls to make sure everybody's okay. Some people are delivering meals to people that can't leave work at the hospitals or the daycares. And some people are bringing in stuff because they have the ability to go get that.
That's awesome.
Everybody's different, and everybody can play their part. And that's what these verses in 1 Corinthians 12 through 28 are all about. And just like this chessboard and how each piece plays their part, you can play a part too. So man, thanks for playing chess with me.
No problem.
And thanks for telling them about how Jesus made them different.
For sure.
And maybe next week we'll play a different game.
Sounds great. I love playing games.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, kids, I hope that you enjoyed our lesson today on chess and how you can be a part of God's family. Hey, we know that this week you can either come and get some things to go along with the lesson, or we're going to send them to your parents digitally where they can ask you questions and you can talk about what it means for you to be part of God's family. I hope to see you next week.
Play another game?
Let's play another game.
Let's do it.